Gabriel Bortoleto's free practice sessions during the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix weekend turned into a nightmare that very few could have predicted. A weekend that was supposed to be a crucial step in his development as a Formula One driver quickly became one of the most challenging moments of his early F1 career. The problems started early and came one after the other, building into a situation that revealed a harsh reality about his current stage with the Sauber team. This weekend in Jeddah was more than just about lap times. It became a reflection of the struggles, the growing pains, and the brutal learning curve that rookies face in Formula One. It all began during the first free practice session, where Gabriel already seemed to be struggling. While the track was still relatively green and the conditions were not ideal, it was clear that Bortoleto was having a hard time finding a rhythm. The medium tires didn't give him the grip he needed, and even after switching to the soft compound, at the end of the session, his performance didn't improve significantly. In contrast, his teammate Nico Hülkenberg managed to extract a lot more from the same machinery, finishing the session more than a full second ahead of Bortoleto. That kind of gap is always a concern, especially for a rookie trying to prove himself. The difference in performance raised questions, not only about the car but also about Gabriel's adaptation to a street circuit as demanding as Jeddah. But if the first practice session was tough, the second one was disastrous. Just as the team hoped to build momentum and help Bortoleto get comfortable, everything fell apart. A fuel leak was discovered in his car, and it wasn't a quick fix. That meant Gabriel missed the entire second free practice session, arguably the most important one of the weekend. FP2 takes place under the same lighting and track conditions as qualifying and the race. Missing it was more than a minor inconvenience. It meant losing out on the most valuable preparation for both Saturday and Sunday. For any driver, that would be a major setback. But for a rookie like Bortoleto, who's still learning the nuances of the car, the tires, and the circuit, it was a massive blow. Without those laps, he couldn't work on fine-tuning the car's balance. He couldn't push the limits and build confidence. He didn't have the chance to test tire degradation or feel how the car reacted at full speed under the lights. In Formula One, every lap matters, and missing that session left him blind going into the rest of the weekend. The team tried to react by making adjustments to the survival cell and other components, but the issue was more complex than it first appeared. While other drivers were running simulations for qualifying and the race, Gabriel's car remained inside the garage. There was nothing more frustrating than watching everyone else improve while knowing your car wouldn't be ready in time. The gap in preparation became wider and wider, and it was clear that Bortoleto would go into qualifying with less data, less confidence, and much more pressure on his shoulders. As qualifying approached, the challenge became even more evident. Without FP2 data, there was no way to test fuel loads, no reference for tire temperatures, and no clear understanding of where the grip was strongest on track. Jeddah is not an easy place to improvise. It's a high-speed street circuit with barely any margin for error. Every corner is lined with walls, every meter matters. If you're not confident, if your car isn't perfectly tuned, the price is usually a mistake that ruins your entire session. Still, Gabriel went out for qualifying determined to do the best with what he had. He tried to make up for lost ground, and in the early part of Q1, he managed to get a slipstream from none other than Max Verstappen. That draft gave him a noticeable speed boost, and it looked like a smart move, until it backfired. With more speed coming down the main straight, Bortoleto approached turn 1 faster than usual, but didn't adjust his braking point. As a result, the extra velocity carried him too far into the corner, and he lost control of the rear of the car. He spun and compromised his lap. In a normal circuit with wide runoff areas, that might not have been the end. But in Jeddah, a spin often means game over for the session. The lack of space, the close walls, and the high speeds mean that once you lose a lap, getting another clean one is incredibly difficult. Gabriel never recovered after that mistake. He couldn't put together a competitive lap and ended up with the slowest time of all, sealing a last-place start for the race. After the session, Gabriel didn't hide his frustration. He acknowledged the mistake and admitted that the failed qualifying attempt hurt him deeply. He also pointed to the lack of preparation and time on track as the main reasons for his underwhelming performance. From the outside, it's easy to criticize, but the full story shows a more complex picture. This wasn't just about a rookie failing to deliver, it was about a driver who never had the tools he needed to perform in the first place. The team, to their credit, stood by Bortoleto. Sauber's team principal, Jonathan Willey, was quick to explain what went wrong. He made it clear that missing FP2 was a critical blow to Gabriel's performance, and he emphasized that both drivers, Bortoleto and Hülkenberg, had issues in Turn 1. But in Gabriel's case, the lack of running time made it impossible for him to build the confidence and consistency needed to handle such a tricky track. Wally highlighted how much preparation matters in modern Formula One. Drivers need to know the exact brake balance, the perfect tire warm-up strategy, and the precise grip levels in each section of the track. Without FP2, Bortoleto had to guess, and in F1, guessing usually doesn't end well. It's a